everyone. I'm Swati Sharma from Department of Management Studies. Today's topic for discussion is foreign trade. If we look at the India's current situation on foreign trade, basically it's steadily opened up its economy. Its tariffs continue to be high when compared with other countries, and its investment norms are still restricted. So this leads some to see India as a rapid globalizer, while others will see it as a highly protectionist economy. So, government stand on trade and investment policy has displayed a marked shift from protecting producers to benefiting the consumers or the customers. It is aggressively pushing for a more liberal global trade regime, especially in services. If you talk about the before independence time, India economy was typically of a colonial and agricultural economy. Trade relations were mainly confined to Britain and other Commonwealth countries. Exports consisted chiefly of raw materials, plantation, crops, while imports composed of light consumer goods and other manufacturers. Exports comprised primarily of three commodities, namely tea, jute, cotton, textile, which constituted about half of the total exports. Some of the other items exported were primarily products like manganese, ore, mica, shellware, raw hides, and skins. Only about 0.4% of the exports consisted of engineering goods. If you look at the foreign trend from 1950-51 to 2017-18, exports it's like 303,526 in 2017 as compared to 1951 it's 1269 in US million dollar. And if we talk about the imports it's like 4,65,000, and trade balance is in negative, it is deficit as we have seen, and import is also very increased from 50-51 to 17-18. The rate of change, if we look at the rate of change, it is somewhere around 9.7%. This is compared to the previous year, and 21.64% imports. And there is a rate of change. Now we look at the exports. India's international trade has gone up from 1269 US million dollar in 1950 to 8486 million dollars in 1881, and 3 lakh 3526 million in 2017-18. So India's exports were almost stagnant during the first 15 years post-independence, as planning predominance was towards traditional goods such as tea, jute, cotton manufacturers, and also the foreign trade, for which was generally inelastic. If you look at the imports, it's in 1951, imports were 1,273 million US dollar in 1881, and it was increased to US dollar 15,869 million dollars. And in 1780s, it is increased to somewhere around 4,65,000 million dollars. The percentage change is very huge. So imports, which were 10.2% of GDP in 1881, declined to 8.8% in 1991. And then it further rose to 16.9% in 2004 and 5, and to 27.1% in 8 and 9. So, however, again, it declined to 20.6% in 16 and 17. Now, composition of foreign trade. Composition of trade means the commodities and products which are included in the exports from India to other countries and imports from other countries in India. The percentage of non-traditional goods in total exports has continuously increased, in which chemical and engineering goods have shown a high growth rate. In post-economic reform period, handmade goods including gems and jewelries have become one of the important export commodities. India is making exports of a few traditional items, coffee, rice, pulses, spices, tobacco, jute, iron, etc. So besides the imports of petroleum products, capital goods, carbon chemical compounds, medical and pharmaceutical products are also imported in Indian economy. So other imports include edible oils, fertilizers, non-ferrous metals, paper and paper boards, pulp and base paper, etc. Now, major export commodities growth. If we look at the major export commodities export are engineering goods, then gems and jewelry, and it has rose to 22.4 percentage if we see the growth. then chemical, drugs, pharmaceutical, textiles, petroleum, food. These are the top 10 commodities which India is exporting, like electronic goods, leather products, and other products also. If we look at the major import, what India imported is petroleum oil, capital goods like machinery-based metals or gems and jewelries, golds, chemical fertilizers, agricultural and light products, oil and mineral oil, and if we look at the percentage change or the growth of importers, it's somewhere around 21.9% in 2017-18 of petroleum oil. Then in capital goods, it's 11.3%, and so on. So there are 7 major commodities which India is importing from other countries. Now, strategies and trade policies to achieve a respectable share of 5% in world's export. India's export growth rate CAGR has to be around 26.5% for at least 5 years, 17 to 21, assuming that global growth continues at the CAGR of 1.5% from 2010-15. For this, some major strategies and trade policy reforms are needed, like demand-based export diversification rather than mere supply-based strategy. Second, developing a world-class export infrastructure and logistics, especially port-related infra. Then FDI-linked and the value-added exports, particularly high-tech exports with China and Asian countries. So there is a scope for reducing applied tariffs by selectively reducing tariffs across many product lines while retaining higher tariffs for sensitive and imported items. Streamlining export promotion scheme as many duties have been subsumed under GST and the tariffs are reduced. So some export promotion schemes can be phased out. Having useful FTAs with some other countries while actively expanding engagement with BRICS and ASEAN, where India enjoys competitive advantage. Then national priority sector for export and greater states participation in exports by linking devolution of funds at two states. Last but not the least, formulating a clear-cut agricultural trade policy is must if we want proper foreign trade policy to be implemented in our country. So this is all about foreign trade. Thank you.